Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Edge. This is the I'm Just Saying Morning Show, and we are so happy to be right here in front of you. We have a wonderful show planned. I know you see a new face sitting right here next to me. We will introduce you to her later, but we are going to get in on some of these topics. It's not the weekend recap, but it's the week recap. Happy birthday, Miss Erica. You know, I've known Erica for a little while. She had a fabulous birthday party last night, and I had an absolutely wonderful time. We were socially distanced, so whoever want to come for me and say I didn't have my mask on my live, guess what? Anyway, this I'm just saying. Happy birthday, girl. So here we are. We know this weekend is the I'm Just Saying Give Back and Family Fun Ride. Ladies and gentlemen, this was super duper important to us to put on this ride and give back, because we know how important it is for kids and families to be able to get around at this time. A lot of people have been losing cars. You know, some people have done really good during this whole COVID pandemic, if you will, but others have not fared as well. And so it's a lot easier to get kids around on bikes than it is having to try to walk and pack your groceries to the store in your hand and your children. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm gonna say this: it's been hard trying to find the bikes. So if y'all know where there's a surplus of bikes that we can go and pick up and give to these kids, because I've been hunting them down, and I've been having a hard time. I'm sure that a lot of you have already picked them up, you know, for Christmas presents and stuff like this. But we are trying to change some kids' lives by giving them some bikes for Christmas, and many of these kids, it'll be their very first time even owning a bike. You know,
do y'all remember that, like, your very first bike?
Oh man, let me tell you a little bit about my bike. Okay, because it was real serious.
So,
right? Bike, not my tricycle, my bike.
Yeah, your bike.
I had the banana strawberry shortcake bike with the basket on the front. Baby, I thought
did you have the little streamers on the side?
I had the banana seed. I had the little streamers that came down. It had the little, little strawberry shortcake that was on the side of the chain thing to protect you. It didn't protect me. I'm rough.
They couldn't tell you nothing.
I didn't even know how to stop it. I would just ride and jump it.
Riding and jumping.
Yeah, jumping right on off because I didn't know how to stop it.
Mine was purple. And I had the little streamers on the side, the little basket on the front with the little flowers, and I didn't know how to ride either. My cousins taught me how to ride, but they didn't tell me how to brake. So I went down a hill and ran straight into a dumpster. My face was messed up, and my mother made me go to school the next day.
Oh, that is horrible.
You know when you
mine, I just got a little ding in my leg. That was it.
I hit face first.
With a reflector.
You know when you're a kid, you make that Christmas list. You see all the things that you didn't put on the list that you didn't got. But see, when we had those bikes, we forgot all about the toys.
That's true. You're right.
We was outside in the yard making ramps.
So what was your first bike like?
So it was pink.
Okay, all right.
And white. It had everything yours did. It had the basket. It had the little ruffles on the sides.
Okay.
I had my knee pads and all that, but I was rough. Yeah, I was trying to climb up trees. Like, I was trying to figure out.
You should have been with us. Yeah, you should have been with us.
She must have been a lot younger than me, because baby, we didn't have no knee pads. We didn't have any knee pads. We didn't have any helmets. We didn't have any of that. It was you ride. You taking a chance. Listen. Also remember, please bring your kids with their PPE. Okay, we need you to have on all your protective equipment
gear.
at the ride.
Yes.
It is mandatory, if you will. We're gonna be there. There's gonna be food. There's gonna be drinks. We're gonna be giving away some prizes. So small businesses, I remind you, come on out. Tell us that your business is still open, where you're located. It's going to be that type of event where we all are about community. We made some really great community connections while we were out. OST Liquor, thank you so much. They donated some water right there on the spot. And they're going to be out at the event. So, Vanderbilt, I love making connections with liquor stores. Especially around the holidays.
It is too early in the morning. But let me say this, though. Kids, we definitely need y'all to have y'all protective equipment, but we need everyone to make sure that they bring their mask.
Please do
Everyone,
that.
please.
And ride in your social bubbles. Yay, yes. We want you to be in your social bubbles. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to keep on moving. Ladies and gentlemen, the rodeo. Y'all know I'm a big rodeo girl, you know. So I'm out there every single year. This year is definitely going to be different. Okay? Going to be different. They're going to just do the shows where the kids come with the animals that they have raised. Mm-hmm. They're going to do that part first at the normal rodeo time. Then they're going to try to reverse it and do the concerts and all of that in May, once they've had time to kind of replan it and restructure everything, because I guess they kind of ran into time restraints. They weren't able to get it ready for right now, and we're not having big crowds right now. So if it permits, you know, if the city is not shut down, rodeo is going to happen in May this year. So that's something new. That's never happened as far as I know.
Is it real hot in May?
Huh? No. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, it's going to be baking and burning. So when y'all are out there on those rides, burning your buttocks,
just make sure y'all have y'all sunscreen and make sure you're hydrated.
Make sure, you know, no Daisy Dukes that day, okay? Oh. No, you know they want to wear their Daisy Dukes with their shorts, too. They're going to have a whole little meat hanging out there.
And they're going to be out there, too.
They're going to have a meat out.
The Dukes in the boots. The Dukes in the boots.
She's laughing at
us. We're going to turn it into a hashtag, y'all.
Hashtag Dukes in
the boots. Right.
Y'all can tell that they ain't been to a trail ride or nothing. I'm going to have to definitely get them incorporated because there is a trail ride called Dukes in the Boots.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have a dance every year. So,
we had no idea.
Up next, ladies and gentlemen, I put this under world news for a reason. Okay. You know, the other day we had kind of done a little spiel about, you know, making connections. This time we're going to talk about black hair, and is it a big deal or not?
Of course.
Because, yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all take a little piece. Commentary before I even say, you know, where I'm trying to go with this, okay? Because we have seen an insurgence of, you know, the natural push forward, okay? Gotcha. I'm very happy for it. My natural is too natural to let out. You know, that is how I feel, and that's why I said before I let y'all know where I'm gonna go with this, is it a big deal or not? Bridget says yes, it is. Yes, so tell us about your crown and how you feel, you know, when you're going and you're meeting people of other cultures. How is it received?
Well, it's received many different ways. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, you know, other cultures are just like, oh my gosh. But what I love to see is little girls, especially little black girls. You have the little poops, and they go, "Mommy, look at her hair." She says, "See, baby." And that touched my heart because obviously, because the mom came up to me, and this happened more than once, but she said,
because when they're in school,
exactly,
I was going to bring that up as well.
Yeah, the other cultures don't understand about our hair. And this is just unique for me. This is what I do. This is my style that I love to rock. Okay. And it's just me. So it's received sometimes negatively by my own sisters.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of hair. What you doing with all your hair? Yeah. That all your hair.
Do
you?
My hair. It's my hair.
So do they prejudge you by looking at your hair?
Prejudging. That's a good one. Vanderbilt, what do they judge you about your hair?
As y'all can see by this lace front I got on.
Okay.
By this lace front I got on.
Oh, it's nice and slick.
Don't you like it?
Okay, I love it.
Yes. I put a lot of work into it.
Okay, Cynthia, please tell us how you feel about your hair and your crown, if you will.
Which is beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
It is. Yeah. It's really nice.
Well, okay. Where do I start? So I feel that as a black woman, it's really important to feel comfortable in our skin.
Absolutely.
And it's been many, many years of oppression, psychological oppression, most importantly, right? Because that's what's going to affect the next generation. Right, so if the little girls don't see representation of what it's like to just grow up being themselves,
can't be what you can't
right?
see.
And if they don't see that representation, then they constantly live a lie for the rest of their life. And it's black women dealing with this, not black men. Y'all just be yourselves. You know, you're not thinking every 2 weeks what new style.
Right.
You know you're not going through that all the time mentally. White women don't have that problem. No, but they just themselves, right? They can just wake up. You know, white men is just black women that are dealing with that psychological
constantly
issue.
Dealing with this, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about. You know, I had somebody come up to me in the store the other day, and he was like, "Oh, I just love your hair." Back away, just back away. Yeah. You know, don't touch it. Don't do anything because that is also a problem.
That part.
They will touch your hair. Okay.
Oh,
You don't have to just try to catch a feel. Please don't try to catch a feel. I've had somebody try to do that at work. I have also had the instance where I was asked to sign, a couple of people know this story about me because I almost sued them. I was asked to sign a non-ethnic hairdo's paperwork. I said, excuse me, is everybody else signing this? And what is an ethnic hairdo for a white woman? Is it a ponytail or what? Right. So I know, where to fit in this. Who else signed this? What do you do at your job? They were afraid, I guess, I was going to wear some braids or something in there. They did not want that. What? Yes. So I have been through it and I've seen it on both sides. I went through my natural phase and I just, decided it wasn't for me. I got too much going on between kids and X, Y, and Z. But I just do me whenever I get ready. I like to change up a lot. That's another thing. I'm the chameleon up there.
Right.
It's fine. This is what I want to do with my head. And I'm so glad that right now this generation has decided to be themselves, do them. Keep doing that. And that's all I wanted to say because right now is definitely a time where nobody is going to say a thing because it's going to turn into a Black Lives Matter movement. So I also took the opportunity to allow my children to grow their hair out for the first time. They've never had, hair over, a centimeter.
Yeah.
I was cut it right off. So they're finding, what works in their hair. We're struggling with that. So all you ladies who own beauty shops and whatever else, please reach out to me. I need to know what to put in it. To keep the girls right, keep the girls right.
I don't have the problem per se, but I have a daughter.
Okay.
And when you said you have to be comfortable in your own skin, my daughter was going through that because she wanted to go natural, and when she started her natural journey, it wasn't received. She was like, she came home crying. I'm like, what's wrong with you? She said, Dad, I don't think people like my natural hair. I said, it's not about what people like. It's what do you like. Mm-hmm. When you look in the mirror, do you like what you see? Do you like your natural look? She said, well, Daddy, I love it. Then that's what we're going to go with.
Yeah. See, I felt like I was struggling with my natural hair. Mm-hmm. And I didn't, because I've not done that. We've always knew that if you press it and you straighten it until whatever. Right. So I wasn't used to having to deal with it. And so it was hard for me, especially with small kids and whatever else. So I just said, forget it.
Well, back in the 1970s, they actually fired a black anchor because she wore afro. She got fired. And Cicely Tyson was the first actress to don, an African hairstyle. She had braids. And that was in 1975.
Wow. Okay, look at that. Don't ever say you didn't learn anything at the edge on I'm Just Saying Morning
You get your education here.
We are here. We are making sure that we add a little bit of edge to your morning conversation. We've got our coffee. We hope you're sipping yours too. We'll be right back and we're going to introduce you to our special guest, Miss Cynthia.
We work our whole lives to support our families. With one accident or illness, it can all be gone in an instant. Now there's a smart, affordable way to protect your family. Go to findhealthbenefits.com and discover low-cost life insurance for as little as $2 per month. Add to that a tax-deferred annuity that can help you protect your assets and grow your money for retirement. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com. or call 877-235-6094. A critical illness can strike without warning and wipe out your life savings. In fact, it's the #1 reason for bankruptcy. Find Health Benefits offers an affordable solution. Get up to $50,000 if you get cancer, stroke, or a heart attack, giving you the peace of mind to focus on getting better while the plan helps you to pay your bills and medical expenses. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you want. Introducing findhealthbenefits.com. Save time, save money, see specialists without referrals. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094 for this informative brochure.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
Hello. It's the I'm Just Saying crew, and we are back adding an edge to your morning. This is going to get real edgy real quick, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do that, I want to take time right now. Everybody tell all of America where they can follow you right now. Starting down there with Miss Bridgette.
She Bridges_PR, or this is the Bridgette.
Okay.
You can find me everywhere. I am Vanderbilt, as usual.
All right, well, I'm at www.wellnessguidecenter.com or Instagram at wellnessguidecenters. That's it. Or you can, if you want to reach me personally, it's Jadera Frequency.
Yes.
Watch it now. Y'all heard that spice in there. This is Miss Cynthia Ahiram. But before we get into what all she has going on, because she does have a lot going on, I wanted to bring this topic up because there's been some really serious stuff. I know that people can't control having their kids on the Zooms and whatever else, because my kids are still virtual, never know what they're going to see on there. A 7-year-old girl was assaulted, if you will, on the Zoom during a class meeting. Her teacher saw her 15-year-old brother come into the room and place his into her mouth on the camera. The teacher was asking the students, because they were about to go on break, to mute and cut off their mics, right? And come back at a certain time. The little girl did not cut her camera off, but she did mute it so that he couldn't hear, I'm sure, couldn't hear any sound. And he came in, did it like it was normal, right there in front of the school camera. Wow. So other kids saw it. We have heard several times that there have been one of them committed suicide on the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody is not cut out to be away from people like this. Please, please, please keep an eye on your children. They're home. They were home all day together because, the brother and the sister, they're home all day together because he's old enough to watch his little sister.
Right.
You would never think anything like that would happen. He's in jail right now. His life is ruined, And where did he get this type of behavior from?
That part.
And how long has she been trying to call out for help? Because if she left her camera on, she very much so knew what she was doing. Yep. She's only 7. 7 years old.
Yep.
Be careful. You know when your kids have certain tendencies, even if you don't want to admit it.
That's it.
You know who your child is. You can you know the bad one, you know the good one, you know the spaghetti one. You know, you can pick out all those qualities.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anything about this parent for missing this,
Right.
but this is bad. And it wound up affecting other children. You parents that are at home with these kids all day, watch that screen. Check what's going on that screen if your kids are virtual.
Yeah.
Please. Everybody, please make sure that you post your comments. If y'all have anything to say, you know, of course, when we get to the end of the show, we are going to be doing Tennille's touchy subjects. But right now, we're going to change gears. I just had to give y'all that public service announcement. And we're going to change to Miss Cynthia. Cynthia, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and why I felt like you were so interesting. She is gorgeous. That makes it even better. But she has a lot of really good things going on. And you know, I love good energy. And when we met, I just felt like, oh yay, I'm gonna find a way to, you know, kind of reconnect. Yeah. So you're here.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a natural.
Where would you like to start?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head. Like, well, I'm a detox therapist.
Okay.
And an iridologist, which is like the ancient and original way to be able to see what's going on in somebody's body, which is through their eyes.
Okay.
Right? With a magnifying
Stare
glass,
into my eyes.
No, you gotta go in deep.
Oh,
Go to the soul. You gotta go in deep. Yeah. But so I'm able to do that, and I help clients to reverse diseases, you know, like clean people out. Right?
I want to be cleaned out.
Yeah.
No.
And that was another reason.
We all need it.
That was another reason that I was like, you know, I really need to talk to her because, you know, we always put stuff like that on the back burner because we have so many things going on.
Yeah.
You know, tell them again, just so we don't lose any people, where they can find you to have a session. So tell them where they can find you.
Okay, well, everything is, since COVID came around, right, we had to go completely digital.
Yeah,
so which was actually,
as well.
You know, which ended up being a blessing. So everything's on the website at www.
Did you hear that? It's very safe. You can do it from the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, everything you do it by yourself, but you get my guidance if you want it. But you also get everything you need in a package.
Okay.
Right. So it's on www.wellnessguidecenter.com.
How was the transition, okay, during COVID? How was the transition to doing something like that online?
It was tedious.
Okay.
You know, but I was going with the flow. I just, you know, you got to go with the flow. You know what I mean? But it was just tedious. It took a couple of months of just like honing in on making everything perfect and making it easy so that people don't have to need me. You know what I mean? They can do everything. They got the video, they got the book, they got the guide, they got everything they need to be able to get whatever goals that they have achieved.
So what made you get into this?
Okay, so I spent 9 years in Nigeria.
Okay.
And I came back last year, actually.
Nice.
And so I never went to a doctor once. So one of my goals when I was going there, because I was already into health, right?
Because the misconception is that everybody over there is sick.
No,
right?
no,
Right.
I don't know.
That's what everybody thinks. That's what
ridiculous.
everybody thinks.
No,
is
that's
that
ridiculous.
everybody over there is sick because all they show are the babies with
the
polio
flies.
and the flies. You know, so nobody wants to be not batting at the flies.
Well, if you've seen that today, then you somewhere else. Because I mean, it's everywhere now. That it's obvious to know that it's. Well, that's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, it's just do a little bit more research. Yeah.
You know, people still ask me, we live in Texas, that do we ride horses to work?
Right. Or do we have a ranch? We ride horses down the street.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah. Now you see what we did.
Yeah, I remember that back in the day. I'm like, still 2020. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, I was determined to not have to need anybody when it came to my health. I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't like hospitals. I don't like the smell.
We know
I don't want to
we
be
know that
around
there's plenty of
sickness.
people like that.
So because of that, I just focused on natural healing, and I was led, you know, to meet ancestral type teachers, right? That taught me a lot of ancient knowledge.
Now, did you seek them out, or did it just kind of gravitational pull? You met them somewhere, and they told you what they did.
Well, everything works together
Okay.
in this universe, in this space and time, right? That's how it works. Like, you have to desire it first. So the mechanism is within me, right? So I sent the energy out, and then it came back to me.
Yep.
That's just how. And then when you send it out, I don't try to figure it out. I don't try to know how it's going to happen. I don't try to make it happen. I just send it out and relax and do whatever diligently I can do at that time until that person shows up.
Now this is when religion also comes into play. Not specific things, but religion can be all different things, and people practice certain things.
Right.
And if you put out good energy and good energy comes back to you, you can't not do the work.
That's right.
You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
you gotta do the work.
You gotta do the work.
Yeah.
Like when it does come to you, you have to receive it and then know how to handle it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she's handling it.
Yep.
And I can't wait because, baby, I'm going to be getting my detox on. I'm excited about this.
No, it's really necessary. And through that, it helped me just stay healthy. Constantly cleaning my body.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the diseases that can be helped with this, because I know diabetics and people, all different types of things probably come your way.
Right.
Tell us something about the type of disease that you maybe help most.
Okay, so all diseases can be reversed.
Eliminated, reversed.
It's just the body not in the ease state, as in a dis-ease
exactly.
state, right?
Educate them real
And
quick.
so that
Educate 'em real
basically
quick.
means that the body's in an acidic state, right? So it's not balanced. Acidity is just the foundation of all disease, right?
Okay.
It's the blood. At the end of the day, whatever you're doing, it ends up
In your
at the blood. That's where it ends. So the whole point here is that you got to change your diet during the healing process.
Mm-hmm.
We have to remember that whatever's going on in here came through this hole right here. And whatever in that hole came through this hand, right? You did.
I'm putting a lot of stuff in
right?
the
it goes in here.
It's the edge.
This is a PG show, right?
No.
So it goes. It's what you
mouth.
ate. It's what you ate that causes whatever's going on in your body, right? So it's important to target those foods, no longer put them in to continue to recreate the problem. You know what I mean? And just focus on cleansing. But I'm telling y'all, there is no dis-ease that cannot be reversed. So don't be fooled.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, ladies?
It's all about timing.
We've got people out here taking vaccines and whatever. Jesus, okay? That's why another reason I felt like this was really, really important right now. Yeah. They are creating these vaccines for, the vid, if you will. I'm not going to be taking a vaccine. I'm not discouraging anyone who wants to do that and feels like it's going to make them safe. But if you have to take a vaccine and someone says you still can't remove your mask and this, that, and the other, what did you just put in my arm?
Exactly.
Or wherever you're putting it.
Exactly.
And let people know the importance of water and hydration. And the reason why I say that is because I actually have lymphedema, and I am a person who does not. Water was just like the bottom of the list for me. But once I started drinking water, and an alkaline water at that, I began to see the shift change in my body. So let people know how important water is. Yeah, we can change our diet, but some people think that water is just like, I just can't do it.
Yeah, water is actually the most important thing, right? That's what's lubricating and hydrating your entire system, and we're 70% water. Alkaline water is extremely important, but I would not advise to go to the store and buy the water that's written alkaline. Find a local enterprise, right? There's plenty of them that are making the water, or buy the machine for your house, right? Get the containers, get the under the sink mechanics,
like the filtration system.
Do that for yourself if you can afford it. If you can't, then find somewhere local, right? And then get at least 8.0 and up water, right? Okay. It's highly, highly important. That's all I drink is water and tea.
Okay. So I have a quick question. Would you agree, Cynthia, that also not only does the food, but to me, a lot of things, dis-ease has to do spiritually?
Okay, so that is
a whole nother topic.
It's not even a whole nother topic. It's connected to, when we talk about, at the end of the day, it ends up in the blood. Right. So let's say you're doing everything. You're eating the most amazing alkaline diet, and you're doing it all right, but then you're stressed. you're releasing cortisol into your bloodstream, right? So what is that doing? We're basically working backwards.
Yeah.
All of that doesn't
Cortisol
count at the end of the day.
Aww.
So you're still causing acidity in the blood, right?
That's what's wrong
toxicity
with
in
me,
your
y'all.
blood.
So basically what you're saying is you have to have balance.
You have to have balance. So your thoughts, electromagnetic energies and waves, that's what you're sending out. That's also how your, connections are being made in your body is through those same waves. So what you think does affect the cells in your body, 1,000,000%.
1 million.
And then also, when we were talking about the Zoom call, the Zoom situation, we were talking about, parents, make sure you pay attention to what your kids are doing. Kids are watching you as well.
They are.
And like I said, water is something that I just didn't believe in. A Diet Coke was number one in my house.
Children definitely learn from your
and
habits.
they watch you. When I tell you they watch you, my son was like, Dad, I didn't realize you started drinking so much water. Next thing you know, he's with me. Dad, we need to go get this water here. I'm like, okay, so they're watching what you do constantly. So if you exhibit good eating habits, good diet, they're gonna follow suit.
Right.
They're gonna follow suit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cynthia Hiram, and she is telling us all about her wellness business and why it's important for you to do all of these things, okay? So please go and follow her. Go and get the know-how from the internet. We're moving into a new world. We'll be right back.
Between the ages of 0 and 5, a child's mind is very impressionable. Researchers call it the theta brainwave. This low frequency is the state of consciousness between the conscious and subconscious worlds. In this state, the mind is capable of deep and profound learning, healing, and growth. There is a subconscious loop that's created during these early years. Who you believe you are has been downloaded based on experiences that you have had. A bad experience could create fears and limitations. Do you love who you are? Do you believe in yourself? The reality is that you can't control your childhood. All you can do is interpret it. You can choose to see your good and your value. Try this experiment. Project forward. See yourself at 80 years old. Now you have lived a lifetime. What advice would you have for your younger self? What risks would you have taken? What relationships would you have avoided? Did you celebrate life? Did you allow yourself to feel, to be present? Your 80-year-old self would tell you to not live in fear, to have faith that things will work out, that all you have to do is persist until you succeed. Your 80-year-old self would tell you to stay healthy, to take care of your body. And it would ultimately tell you to share your gifts with the world.
A retired Marine and former school teacher is spending his days on the road promoting unity.
His platform is to erase race And he's trying to do that by traveling the country, visiting 100 cities, spreading his message one conversation at a time.
I was born and raised in Waller County, Texas, just northwest of Houston. As a child of the 60s civil rights era, I lived in a city that was probably 100% black at the time, and that city, Prairie View, Texas, had an educational background that far exceeded the national average. Because of this uncommon occurrence, I grew up lacking the sense of inferiority that many black people experienced as a result of segregation and the remnants of the Jim Crow era. In Prairie View, the smartest and most able and capable people the children of that city saw daily were always black. After integration in 1969, I grew up with friends from a variety of ethnic backgrounds, and this continued to expand as I went to college, and my circle of deep relationships continued to grow with football teammates from various parts of Texas and the country, and then expanded even more after I joined the United States Marine Corps, where my relationships began to include foreign cultures and people with whom I never envisioned communicating. Today, after having visited and lived in the continents of Asia, Africa, and Europe, I am convinced that we are all far more alike than we could ever realize. Something has hindered that realization for others. Here in the United States of America, we have been plagued for hundreds of years with a concept called race. This concept would have us believe that we are fundamentally very different and our skin color makes us so. Though anthropology, sociology, and medical journals continually refute this, many Americans continue to harbor the erroneous beliefs associated with race. This is what I'm here to change. Hello, I am Carlin Charleston, the Executive Director of Erase Race. We are a 501c4 nonprofit organization designed to remove race from our society and unite people across all demographics and bring them into the novel reality that we are all quite differently the same. That phrase may sound contradictory in itself, but it really makes sense. Once we understand our common origins from whence we all originate, then it becomes much more interesting to see how differently we have evolved in our geographic regions as one people. Erase Race began the work of unifying our country when I embarked upon a 112-city tour last June. Driving the Unity van from coast to coast and from north to south, the thrill of visiting the 48 contiguous states and meeting people I would have never met otherwise was simply amazing. From Baton Rouge to Boston and from Philadelphia to Phoenix, I became more American every day as I met the people that make up this great country, and that is where I want to take you.
This is city number 76.
Shaking hands, visiting people and places, striving for unity as a human race.
It has really been phenomenal. Number one, to travel the country and go to different places in our country and meet the people is what most Americans need to do.
He said there have been surprising interactions, even poignant moments, stopping along sites of historic importance like the Liberty Bell and Harriet Tubman's home. He'll make his final stop in December, but his work will be far from done. Carlin's life is the American Unity Movement, and he's hopeful one day soon people truly won't be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
That's my vision, that we have people, and we can then respect people and live with people.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Edge. This is the I'm Just Saying Morning Show. I am simply Tennille. Please make sure that you follow me on all social media platforms and that you check out my travel and entertainment blog at simply.tennille365 on gemsource.net. Now, before we went to break, we were talking to Cynthia about her wellness business and how to detox people. And before we leave that subject, because we have a really special guest that's going to be on, how could people start detoxing or cleaning themselves right now? Give them one option, because we're all about solutions. We know that everybody is not going to make their way to the website, but some of you are. For those people out there that are watching that would like to do something, you know, kind of start cleansing themselves, right, what's one of the things you suggest?
So I would do greens. I would start making smoothies, plenty of greens. Cilantro is actually good for removing heavy metals in the body, right? So add a little bit of that.
Don't say you didn't learn nothing, and don't say I didn't do nothing for you. Cilantro, okay,
So add
cilantro.
some of that in there to clean out your body, and then like plenty of water, plenty of water. So if you're doing plenty of water, you're doing teas are very good as well, right? Peppermint tea is very good, right? That gives you energy. So for the blood, it gives you energy. I would say, what else?
Flaxseed.
So flaxseed helps to lubricate the intestinal lining, right? Just so
you know what that means.
So you can release a little bit more.
Yuck.
So that does help as well, flaxseed, to let you,
Because I asked because I have been incorporating that in the smoothie.
Yeah, yeah. So do some kale, do some cilantro, celery juice.
Yes.
Okay.
And we talked about celery juice the other day.
We are going to keep it pushing, and the reason why I wanted to ask her that, because I have somewhere special for you to go and get these vegetables, okay? Freedmanstown now has a farmer's market, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. We have our very own farmer's market. I got invited out. I cannot wait to go by here. I'm going to be buying fruit and vegetables from over there with these African-American farmers. I cannot wait to see what kind of products they have out there. It's at 1320 Robin Street, ladies and gentlemen. Please, please, please. I'm not going to tell you the actual date of this thing that they're having because it falls on the same day as my event. But my bad. But that's a way of telling you without telling you. You know what I'm saying? Come to my event first, and then you can go by the farmer's market. Okay?
Yeah, 9 to 1.
Get you some vegetables, make you a smoothie. While we're on a happy note, we have a very special guest on the line. He is right now doing it live and big. You know, Vanderbilt was able to talk to his manager and get this all lined up for us. So we're super happy. I'm going to let you introduce our special guest right now.
All right. Well, we have with us Port Arthur's very own DeAndre. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Port Arthur's very own, or
Port
finest.
Arthur's own. He was a singer on The Voice. Very, very talented. Very beautiful voice. I want to say, by the way, my brother. Let me introduce to everybody DeAndre Nico.
I'm sorry that Hoopla didn't sing that big, but we promise you are a big thing. The Voice. Everybody right now wants to know about the behind the scenes, meeting these phenomenal people in the music industry, honing in on your craft and getting things right, if you will. I can't wait to hear the music that's going to come from this, because I know a lot of people wind up doing really great productions after a show like this. Tell us what the experience was like, because nobody gets to hear that part.
It depends what you're talking about. Like, what you guys put me in the lane, like the good experience, bad experience.
You can tell us both. What part about it was bad? I know it's COVID right now, so I know there probably wasn't a lot of one-on-one, you know, with the musical guests that are there, but how was your
I was on there. I was one-on-one. I was season 15. So
yes.
We got to talk and, you know, communicate with the coaches.
Did you learn a lot?
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave that.
Oh, wow. I'm about to get the real tea. I love dragging it out of people. He says he already knew it all. I'm just saying.
Nah, I mean, you probably got to see your coaches maybe like 2 times out of the week, or maybe 1 time out of the week. You know, but it was only on national television. I mean, it was on TV when you seen them and you got to communicate with them. So it wasn't like no intimate like dialogue or, you know, stuff like that. But it was okay.
Have liked that. You would have liked it to be more intimate.
Right.
Yes,
because you know what I'm saying, you know, it's your coach. So, you know, they gotta help you out, teach you, you know, well, that's what you know, I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but yeah.
Okay, well, great. I wanted to know that. See, that's something that people don't know because they're thinking they're gonna get all this great training when they go there. There are tons and tons of people who are currently applying right now to be on The Voice because they want those people to get them to the next level. So, where are you trying to take this music career?
Anywhere the Lord takes me.
Anywhere the
I'm
Lord
just trying to
takes
go.
At least you got a plan.
Go to the top.
Well, let
me
be the first to say, I actually did go back and watch season 15 after talking to your manager, and by far the best, hands down. And I'm not just saying that because you're on the show. I actually literally watched season 15, and I'm like, how did they not pick him? You know, but once again, we understand how thing goes, and whenever, you know, always something good comes out of it. That's what I'm saying, basically. So you did represent yourself, Port Arthur, very, very well. Tell us a little bit about your listening party tonight.
Yes.
Well, the listening party, it's going to be at Club Plush, and
on the north side.
No, it's in Beaumont.
Yeah, I'm back in Beaumont. Yeah.
Beaumont.
It starts at 8:00. You can sign up online on Facebook. You go to my link, my DeAndre K. Nico. I think it's my fan page, and you go to that. You hit the link, and when you hit the link, it's a $5 purchase for, you know, to be inside of the live and everything. So, in order for you to get in there, you have to subscribe and, you know, like everything and, you know, do what you got to do to get on the listening party.
To get in the listening party.
You say what?
Listen, I was going to ask you this. Are you going to have one of those interactive where everybody judges the songs and does all that? What can people expect from this listening party?
People, what y'all gonna do is people, like, they'll just comment, you know. I would ask them questions about, like, how do y'all feel about this song? You know, everybody, period. You know, everybody that's in the setting and on social media. So we'll, like, pick a few people to, you know, to come in and chime in and say, oh man, I like this song or whatever, you know. Just input, because I'm trying to get more
musical process. I'm gonna tell you,
you say what?
I said, if people want to be part of the musical process, it is nothing like going to a listening party where the artist is there and you can give them real live comments on what is good, what you like, what you don't like. It helps the artist as well. So ladies and gentlemen, please, please, please go and find that link that he's talking about right now. Attend the listening party and don't be quiet. Be loud about how you feel. You know, this is, I'm just saying, and I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to tell you how I feel every single time. With you do have a phenomenal voice. Is that a family thing, or is that just you? Are you the one in the family, or is this something that you learned, you know, maybe picked up from your mom, your family members, church before?
My mama can sing.
My mama can sing.
My mom can sing. She can go a little bit. Okay. You know, everybody else, I don't really think nobody else can sing. I mean, like on my, well, no. On my mom's side, my uncle, maybe. Well, my uncle, which he passed away. My uncle, I have a few cousins that can sing, and you know, it's not too many people. But I play instruments as well, so it's kind of different for me because, like, what I hear, like, I can hear on the piano. So whatever I play, I try to mimic it, you know? Like, if I hear a note in my head and I can play it on keyboard, I make sure I can sing it as well.
How important is that in the music industry right now, being able to not only hear, play, and sing the music? Do you feel like everybody needs to be well-rounded like that right now?
You know, to each his own. I feel like, you know, if you desire to play the piano or play drums or whatever you desire to play, I feel like you should do it to the best of your ability. If you're trying to showcase that, if you're a great, you know, if you're a phenomenal singer and you don't have the talent, or God he didn't give you that gift to play, you know, keyboard or whatever, that's just not your lane. You know, stay in your lane.
That's just it. So DeAndre, what gave you the courage to go out for something like The Voice? Because there's so many different people that they choose, and they go to so many different cities. What gave you that courage and that oompa, so to speak, to just go, you know, do it and just go through it and try out for it?
To be honest with you, I wasn't going to even try out for The Voice.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't. I wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
Huh?
So what made you do it?
Man, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you this. So I was at home, and I think I just came from church. I had a little gig, and I had to play keyboard somewhere. And I came home. My aunt had called my mom. She was like, "Hey, you know, The Voice is coming to Houston." So I was like, "Oh, that's what's up." Yeah. She was like, "Well, I'm gonna tell DeAndre." So I was like, "Mom, you don't have to tell me nothing. I'm not doing it." And she was like, "Why not?" I was like, "Cause I don't want to." So she ended up talking. Her and my aunt, they ended up talking me into doing it. And I was like, you know what? I'll just try it. I have nothing to lose. And the hurricane had just hit. I had lost everything, so it was like, why not just try out for it and do something, you know? So I did it, and I knew I was gonna make it because I just felt like God had told me go. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't gonna go. It's plenty of shows I could have been on. Like when I tried out for the X Factor, and they had wanted me on that show, but I was like, I don't want to do it. You know, I'm cool on it because I don't like competition. It's like, I mean, you have a gift, so if you're in your lane, stay in your lane, be the best at being you. So, and that's just me.
That was definitely a message for everybody out there. You know, I like giving messages and telling y'all about the business side of this. You are who you are. It doesn't matter who tries to, you know, salt or sugar your coffee. They might throw some
right
every once in a while, you know. But remember who you are at all times, because you are enough by yourself. We are very happy, you know, that you didn't take this. You know how some people, they take it and they be like, oh, well, I didn't really like doing that, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to just stop doing this. So we're glad that you are continuing and pushing on. We can't wait to hear this album. Tell everybody one more time where the listening party is, where they can follow you on social media.
Okay, so the listening party is on where is the listening party? No, I mean, I know it's at Plush, but what's the location? Y'all know?
It's gonna be 833 Orleans.
833 Orleans Street. Okay. That's in Beaumont, Texas. That's where it's gonna be at Plush, Club Plush. Y'all probably can just type it in, and you know it'll pull up on your Google Map or Apple Map, whatever. It'll come up, and it'll be on Facebook as well. But Facebook, you'll have to pay $5 to get on. What else?
Social media.
I think it's like the space that we're gonna be in is, you know, because COVID is really it then ran rapid, so that's gonna be, it's not gonna be a lot of people there, you know. It's social distance, gonna wear masks. Yeah, we ain't trying to catch COVID.
Yeah. Well, before we
he didn't tell his social media.
Oh, my social media. My social media is DeAndre K Nico, and that's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I don't do TikTok because that's just not me. I'm not about to dance. I don't do the dancing, you know. Okay. I'm too old for that. Now let me stop.
I like that when guys don't do all the dancing, you know. It says something about your character.
But yeah, that's my social network.
Well, somebody else
you say what?
Something?
Yeah, real quick. I did talk to your mama in our conversation. I asked her about you singing and where did you get it from, and I said he must have got it from his mama, and she kind of downplayed it. She was like, "Well, I'm not gonna say all that." I'm like, "Yeah, mama, I know." So she was like, "I could do a little something." So, yeah. So what she did was she let me know, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about it, that you're gonna have some new music coming out next month. So can you tell us a little bit
Right.
about that?
Can you send us some of that? You know, because we would love to play it here and let people do.
No,
it.
I'm actually on Vocal Rest because the gig is, well, not the gig, but my show is tomorrow. Well, no, it's
send
today.
it to us.
Your show is
It's today. The show is today.
It's
Lord
today.
have mercy.
It's today.
Yeah.
He said,
It's
Look, 'cause
It's
your
Lord.
mom, when I talked to your
It's
mom,
today.
she said, I don't let him go anywhere the day he has a show. I don't let him move.
You
So,
say
yeah,
what?
I talked to your mom about you actually coming to the studio, and she said, no,
Oh,
on
yeah.
days that he has shows, I don't let him go anywhere.
Yeah. I'm usually on Vocal Rest. I've been trying to stay like really quiet because I know my voice. Like if I get going,
You can
it'll
go.
come out.
Yeah, you can go.
Yeah. But
But we're
yeah,
gonna let you rest. We're very glad that you were able to come on the show today. I hope that the listening party is absolutely amazing. I hope you have a wonderful time, and I hope all your people who come out and support you know that you are appreciated when you get there, because you are in the building live, and he really needs that
Right.
support. We all do, because you know nobody's anybody without their supporters. Right. Anything else you
right,
want to
I
tell
appreciate
people?
it too.
Anything
You
else
say
you want
what?
to tell people?
I can't hear you say it again.
Anything else you want to tell people?
Oh, yeah, I'll be dropping music, so it's going down. You hear me?
All right.
Make sure you log on to the Facebook and y'all follow me on everything, you know, and I appreciate y'all for everything. Just, you know, communicating with me on, you know, Facebook, Instagram, DMing, all the extra, you know, showing mad love and support. I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart.
We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for coming on. I'm just
And happy holidays as well, y'all. Happy holidays.
Likewise.
That was
You and
super
your
sweet.
Yeah.
I like
Happy
that.
holidays.
All right. Thank you. All
Yeah.
right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that was DeAndre Nico. Okay, he is out there doing big things in the music industry. He is about to have this new music drop. Y'all definitely need to go get that. You know, I'm simply Dr. Neal. I'm out here trying to put my grind on, do my thing too. So, where we going next, ladies and gentlemen? You know, I got plenty on this sheet to talk about. Okay.
Well, we're going over to the entertainment news and interesting things
going on.
So a couple of things. I don't know if you guys know Anne Marie. She is.
We don't. No.
Singer, right? Yes, she's a singer, and so thank you. Mm-hmm. And so she is been charged with murder because she shot her boyfriend in the head over a Twitter that he sent. Now check this out. The name of her album mixtapes was Tripolar and Pretty Psycho. So it's almost a precursor to who her personality is, so to speak. But yeah, so she is in prison because of that. Life ruined. Beautiful young lady, talented. So that's.
I need some background on this.
Yeah.
Now you already have these psycho names.
Yeah.
That means that someone knew that you was a little cray. They've been letting you run out here wild and rampant on these streets, if you will.
Yeah.
And then it came to here we are again talking about energy that you put out there.
Exactly. That's it. Because why would you name yourself Tripolar? Yeah. And then
you already know you snapping on people
exactly.
and popping ties and all that.
Yeah.
Girl, you better sit down. They gave you several seats.
Several.
Ooh.
On to other news. Rapper Biz Markie, you guys, was in a diabetic coma, but while in that coma, he's had a stroke. So they're saying it's not looking good. You know, send prayers out to him and his family. You know, Biz Markie is a staple in my generation. We all know I'm just a little bit older than everybody else, but we loved it. You know.
But no, let's say this: Biz Markie is really big with kids, you know, 8 years old and under because of what was the TV show? What was the shoot? What is it with the characters? It was the cartoon with DJ Flex and all of those. Gosh, what is the name of that? It just slipped my mind. It was right on the tip of my tongue. So there's a TV show for children, and Biz Markie was definitely on the show. It was super lit for my little kiddos. They absolutely loved it at the time. There's fun characters on there. They introduced kids to music. Erykah Badu was on the show. They had all of the music artists on there. I just love that show. Letting the kids watch.
What happens is, when you have the greats like you know, the big Biz Marquis, the Big Daddy Kane's, things of that nature. They all are now being brought back to the forefront because there's a father and daughter beatbox duo. And you're seeing them? And one of their interviews, you know, the dad actually paid homage to Biz Marquis. He was like, it wasn't for Biz Marquis and the Dougie Freshes, you know, I wouldn't have even, you know, had the courage to come forth and do this. And now my daughter's doing it. So, you know, we have a way of not recycling, but bringing those greats back to the forefront.
You know that kids are now watching, you know, the YouTube beatbox battles.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It is super serious.
Yeah.
He said that he was going to have to go off because COVID, you know, had cut his money short. He wasn't going to be able to make the cartoons anymore. I think in one day he raised like $60-something thousand. Wow. People gave him money to keep his thing going on social media. Speaking of beatboxing, let me say this: break dancing.
Come on now.
Has made it into the Olympics. Are we?
How do y'all feel about that?
Before we go to break, everybody give your commenting on what do you think?
Hey,
is this a sport or no?
I'm here for it. You remember Boogaloo?
Yes,
come on now. Come on. That's a sport. That
it.
is a sport. Spitting on your head, that's a sport.
So we're gonna
do.
We need everybody to comment, you know, their thoughts, especially about the show, but also on this breakdance, and it's made it to the Olympics. We have to go to break, but when we come back, we're gonna get everybody's take on what they actually think about the breakdance.
I'm done. Breakdancing in, whatever. I'm gonna watch it.
Okay.
I want to go wear costumes. We'll be right back.
When people stop talking to each other, society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
The Natural Nation Network is really about taking control of your health physically, spiritually, emotionally, even intellectually, because there's so much out there in misinformation. There's a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. And that's what we're here to do. Provide information that can save lives.
The mind and the body are totally connected.
Health can be really serious, and you know, sometimes we just have to lighten it up a little bit while we're still providing substantive information.
And you know, my sort of mantra on the salsa dance floor is kind of similar. You know, I tell somebody, if you make a mistake twice, it becomes a move. Okay?
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Okay? I tell y'all all the time about these background conversations. You cannot miss these background conversations. You definitely have to come down to the studio at 415 West Gray. Yes. The Edge is here and live, and we are open, and we have space for a live studio audience. We would love for you to come down and be part of our Friends with Benny's, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so there's one other thing I had to say before we get into this next topic. If it has been your dream to be on air or behind the scenes, stop making it a dream. You can really live it. Come right on down here. We would love to have you. If you're an intern, if you're looking for an intern, or if you're looking for a real job, we got the space for you. We need help doing all these plans that we have set up for 2021. So make sure you come on down here. We'll find somebody for you to talk to and get you hooked right up, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to our final segment, and you know what that means.
Tennille's touchy subjects.
Tennille's touchy subjects. Okay? We always have a lot of fun with this part of the show, so everybody get your fingers ready to type or text or whatever you need to do to put your comments, because it's going to get real touchy real quick. Okay?
Let's go.
And y'all know why.
Yeah.
This week, I didn't do a write-in letter. I went on the internet and I found something that I felt like was super interesting, because I'm gonna start calling this segment Damn That's Interesting. There was a letter, okay? There was a letter posted from a guy who was somebody's B in the jailhouse, okay? You know, we always prejudge, like Vanderbilt said earlier, people who fell into that type of situation. Lots of people poke fun and they say, well, this person must have been like this before they even went in there, if they can let somebody do them like that. This story, if you get the opportunity to read it, will make you think about it in a completely different way. Sure. Because I'm not gonna lie, I've been one of those people who have joked about it and said, well, you know, the boy had tendencies before. I ain't like the way his hips was set up and all of this kind of stuff. Like, I've been that person. You know how the guys already be having the hips and little poke it out. What you say, the PTO
and poking that thing
poking
out.
That thing out. So, you know, I have been one of the, I bet, you know, and then some of them have a little switch and everything, you know. So you just assume he was already that way. She's like, I'm out of this. I ain't in this with them. Remember, this is just our opinions. It's all for entertainment.
This is what it's like hanging with the crew.
This is all entertainment, baby. So, but it's real life, you know, and there are several people who go through this. You're in a full-fledged gay relationship for the first time in your life, you know, and you've been forced to do so. There is no way to get out. He talks about that, y'all. If y'all would see this that I put on this paper, I normally don't put this much detail, and this was not supposed to be on here like this. It was just supposed to be a little precursor to let y'all know what we were going to talk about. Right. But mentally, he's talking about his headspace in here and the things that he went through mentally, dealing with this and dealing with his incarceration. Not only are you being punished, but you being punished.
Right.
This would have to be, and especially for a man, to me. I know that people don't like to, you know, I'm a Libra, so I gotta outweigh, you know, what's true and what's not. And for a woman, let me say this. Most of the acts are still kind of a natural thing unless you're being sodomized, because we're going to just get real serious with this. But for a man, not only mentally, but physically, if someone is doing something like this, it just takes on a whole nother level of, in my head, you know, and it may not be that way for some people, but in my head, it just seems like it just takes it up a notch. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you guys, the mental anguish, if you will. You know, women are still kind of doing what would be natural. Like, even if you have never had sex before, if you do it with the same sex, it's still the kind of same thing that you would wind up doing with a man. But when you, in turn, are a male, this is not what you would be doing naturally. You know, and he was forced into this, and it went on for years. You know, you can't tell the people that are above you, because then you're just going to get worse. There were group situations that were going on here. And, you know, you like to think, like, I think I'm a G. So I would think that I would be the person to be like, well, you can't have me, but I'm going to have to give you, I'm going to give up somebody else. How would you react in a situation like this? You can't explain it. Simple as that. You can't explain it.
As a male, and like I said, I actually read this last night. I stayed up and read the entire thing. As a matter of fact, I read it twice.
There's so many pieces to it.
It's so many pieces and so many levels to it, but it definitely gave you a different perspective on what actually goes on. You know how he thought of himself before he went in versus while this was going on, and even after he came out.
Because he said that he was not going to share this. He did not mean for this to get this long.
Yeah.
But it just came pouring out.
Right. But the way he was able to explain the pros and the cons, and of course he goes on to say that the cons definitely outweigh the pros. But one thing I really like that he said is that the person that he's with now was really able to help him get through this and make sense of everything that was going on, because he feels that if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't have been able to even write anything that was going on. So it definitely changed my entire perspective on what happens when you're incarcerated.
In this story, he goes into detail, and I want y'all's comments about this. Do you really still think that a person like this is just, gay from the beginning, X, Y, and Z, because they're not fighting until the death? Because I know that's what a lot of you are thinking. Post your comments right now. We would love to see it. We'll read them live on air. But he talked about the physicality, getting his body, basically used to this type of thing happening repeatedly. He also talked about the loss of his independence. Like, you're not walking around free anymore. Somebody is constantly in your brain telling you what to do. You're scared to make certain moves in fear that somebody's gonna do something. Every time you do something or step out of line, oh Lord, here they come. Like,
but then the flip side to that was, like you said, this is how he originally thought. But then it became, okay, me being with this person is now my security blanket, because he was able to do certain things and not have to worry about the repercussions of him being the new person now belonging to somebody else. So at some point, he actually accepted it, because he knew that he was able to get certain things.
See, and that's the confusing piece for people right there. And I'm just being real with this. Whatever's coming to me right now, that's the confusing piece for me right there. When the acceptance flips over, when it flips, something has been broken.
Right.
Or it was never there.
But that's what
what we're asking you guys.
Well, he
said
your
comments.
He said that something was broken in him, but he also said, it
was a coping mechanism.
It was a coping mechanism because, okay, I don't have to worry about being shared by everybody. I belong to just him.
Oh,
if something happens, he's the OG of that block or whatever you want to call it. He's gonna deal with the fact that I put my hands on you. Tennille is off limits. I can't touch Tennille.
This is horrible, y'all.
I can't touch Tennille.
This is
if
just
I do, and he said it. If anything would have happened to him, knowing that he belonged to this person, that person was gonna deal with it right then and there. And 9 times out of 10, it was gonna be dealt with violence.
Y'all know there's a lot that I want to say right now.
It changed my entire perspective on how
this works.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, when something like this happens, I'm just gonna say this again. When something like this is happening to you, and you're in a situation, and you're trapped, and you're incarcerated, if you will, and there's no one to tell, it's all on you. And in my mind, right now, still today, even after reading this, I'm still till the death. Okay, it's just gonna have to happen. I do very much so believe it's kind of different situation for women, but if I was a man, in my mind, I just cannot see ever. It's gonna be a fight every day. I'm gonna be Kunta with one foot.
I think that's easier said than done.
I think so.
Because when you're in that space, remember, the world around you is that's all you see. There's nothing going on.
And survival,
out there.
trying to get home, maybe.
You gotta keep going, and something has to break in order for you
and at some point you create a whole world while you're incarcerated.
But I don't want to give anybody that thought that they broke me.
But he says that. He said he never. This is something he never thought was going to happen. He never thought. But let me
he
say
went
this.
to jail.
Yeah,
Everybody thinks that it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but let me say this, and he said this in his letter. For those of you who haven't been to jail, and when you go to jail, you think you about that life. You ain't about that life. A lot of you ain't about that life. There's some G's out here that are, but especially our young brothers, you ain't about that life.
I agree.
You not.
Man. Okay. So
100%.
he also takes time to talk about the feminine piece of this because now he's someone's woman, basically.
Yeah.
Whenever he calls, how mentally and guys, this is for you. When it does come a point like that, because we know we've heard the stories about the guys who wear the flaming, you know, if we will, wear the t-shirts tied up and doing different things, you know, that turns into, you know, what is it, contraband and stuff like that they take away from them. But they grow their hair out and this, that, and the other. When you're going through a spell like this and making it comfortable in your mind to be this way, your dialect is changing, you're this, that, and the other, because now you're becoming more appeasing to a guy. This takes a lot, y'all, and for him to be able to recover and come back out and try to deal with this, and you know, this was an extensive thing.
Yeah,
he broke it down into so many different parts to try to explain it away, if you will.
Well, he's powerful.
Yeah, he has given.
It
has given him power
for him to be able to conquer that, overcome it, heal from it, and be able to talk publicly about it.
I would love
most
for
men
him
would
to
not
come
ever
out, go
tell
out
this
and
story.
talk about this, you know, to schools and groups and different things like that, because once again, it gives you a different insight. But let me say this, and it's funny that we even are talking about this. My former brother-in-law, may he rest in peace. He told, you know, we would talk. He worked in the jail, and he said some of the hardest guys he knew coming up in the same hood we grew up in, once they got behind them bars, it's totally different.
Wow.
Totally different. And I'm talking about OGs.
What you say, and it's always somebody harder in the next hood. Oh,
It's-
you just
right.
You just hope you don't run into them, you know. And you always hear the stories.
I used to have, they said, on top, there was a guy that used to work with us at the Marriott, and we used to call him Tiny. Short guy, muscular, real cool, nicest cat you would ever want to know. But he served 25 years in Angola.
And you would never know.
And you would never know. You would never know until you actually sat down with him, and he would tell you some of the stories and some of the things that went on, you know, behind those bars. So once again, you never judge a book by its cover, first of all.
So ladies and gentlemen, we are right here on Tennille's Touchy Subjects. We are discussing a man who was able to share his story and basically recover from somebody being somebody. How did he put it? Being somebody's B while incarcerated. Okay, we never get to hear this side of the story. We never know what really happens when somebody is going through this and they're incarcerated. But when I say he broke it down, I mean he broke every single aspect, every question you could possibly ask. He found a way to put it in this letter.
And in pros and cons. So when I'm going to post this on all our social media, so you guys can definitely comment on it. Like I said, once again, it was a game changer for me, being that I am a male. And just to hear some of the things that he talked about that we actually take for granted being on the outside.
And let's talk about this real quick before we get out of here. The psychological damage.
Oh yeah.
You know, this man is going to be dealing with this for the rest of his life. People judging him for allowing this to happen, because like I said, I've been one of those people, and I'm not judging. I just said basically straight up, oh, he must have already been gay, or he this, that, and the other. And we know that for a lot of people that is not the case. But when your mind snaps and you are at that point then trying to cope with the situation and simply trying to get home to your family, you never know what you'll do to try to get back to your family. So ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to wake people up, kind of show you the other side of this, make you think about it a different way when you're judging and poking at those people when you find out, you know, because they all sending a letter home. Did you know Leroy was such and such now? He hanging with blah, blah, blah. And that's normally how the story gets out. It's not from the people when they get ready to come home. It's from somebody else who wrote a letter home to somebody else who lives in the same neighborhood, the same whatever, who done spread the word, if you will.
And you
it's
know,
always that part.
And you know, light is made of it, you know, in different movies, like in Life. When you had with Biscuit and then what was it, The Longest Yard, where can I call the comedian's name? He actually played the guy, that had been turned out as well. So it's actually been portrayed, and I guess you want to say ridiculed in movies, but this brought it to a totally different perspective.
This is a totally different perspective. I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. I hope that you guys enjoyed Miss Cynthia today.
I enjoyed y'all. This was good.
Go get on that celery and make you some juice strips.
I'm gonna give me some cilantro when I leave here.
Get your life together. I'm gonna have to start juicing myself. I might not have time for that either. I'm gonna feed the baby a little juice. Give him a little juice. See what he does. Let him be great.
Give him
just start him out.
Give him a ginger shot right early in the morning.
Drinking nothing but juice. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we talked about the breakdancing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Did we say whether or not, y'all said when we came back, y'all wanted to say whether or not you were here for it. I was going to try to slide it in right here. And we also need to say, Trump is still pushing for this arms deal to go through, ladies and gentlemen, right at the last minute. Okay? With the United Arab. Okay? He's trying to make true on these promises, ladies and gentlemen. Watch what's going on out here. Don't let it slide past because everything else is going on. The new year is coming and so is the new president. Are you in for the...
I'm in.
In.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We're all in for the Olympics. Adding breakdancing. I can't wait to see the costumes.
Y'all about to make IJS live crew.
We'll see y'all this weekend at our bike ride on December 12th at 5015.
We out of here.